I'm joining online. And from 22nd, I guess all of you know it's offline. 20. Oh, 20, yeah. 20. Yay! Nice. Tomorrow onwards. So tomorrow anyway is holiday from 21st, offline. That's nice. Because managing online and offline together is very difficult. Okay, so for today, from today we'll start vector art. So vector art is basically like anything you create with lines and dots. It's like you can increase and reduce the size of the image without losing any detail. Irrespective of the size of the file, you can increase it. So let's create something for n and 1024 by 1024, just 1K size. So for vector, we use like traditionally, like vector art. We for vector art we use either Illustrator or there's like Corel Draw. There's a lot of softwares are there. We use those software, but there will be cases like because this is more towards 3D art, how to create textures and all this thing. So we use Photoshop. We don't use Illustrator and all. And this thing will help you in for creating models as well, because if you create a vector shape, you can convert that into a 3D model. So that those things are there. So like suppose you have very complex some engraving or design, some piece of jewelry. So if you want to create that directly into Max or Maya, it will be really time consuming and difficult. So if you know how to trace out a shape, you can definitely create the shape and convert it into a 3D model really quickly. And yes, it's not that model won't be like topology wise very clean, but you'll get the basic shape. Like for high poly, you can create it really quickly, push it to a ZBrush, sculpt it. That will save a lot of time. So these things we do. And suppose you have some text or maybe some logo or some banner or something creating for game, because in games also we have those like racing game, we have those banners, daggers, everything is there everywhere. So we trace out actual real life things and create those things like pixel by pixel, everything we trace out perfectly. And like games nowadays, like most of the games we create, they are scalable. Like suppose I create a game for PC, I can scale it down for mobile or some other console also. I can convert it like in engine we have this thing we call it like cooking. Basically we cook it and convert it to some format, we change it. So that's why like if you use vector art and all, you can compress it and change the size very easily, and quality will be intact without losing anything. Those things are there. And plus I don't know you're aware of, like Technicolor have a department for EA Sports, dedicated department for EA Sports, and they create all these jerseys, shorts, or like FIFA and all those things, shoes, and they like create everything with vector. Reason they can reuse it again and again. Otherwise, you have like because a jersey like has those stripes, exact same color is different. So if you create it in like raster, then you have to redo it. If you do it in vector, just drag drop that layer and change it. So I'll explain. That's why I just open a new empty file, nothing is there. So let's see, for vector, we'll be using pen tool. So this pen tool, or we can use all the shape tools. So if I click pen, shortcut is P, pen, and from dropdown you can see we have multiple pen tool options. So by default, we'll be using pen tool, first one. And freeform is basically freeform. You can draw whatever randomly you can draw. It will convert that into a vector shape. So let's see. I'll explain. This will make you like understand like what is vector. This is a 1K file. Control Alt I. So you can see in pixels 1024, 1024, 32 pixel per inch. So it's a 1K size file. So if I create, so let's see, I'll duplicate this. No, let's keep it like this only. Let's see, I create some random some shape. Okay, one more thing. I am using path right now. So it's not, it's wrong. Escape. Make sure use shape. So now you have this line, color, fill, and all these options. So let's see, I'll create something little cleaner. And hmm? Path is, let's understand. Now path is basically this shape, this outline you can see, that shape I'm creating. So this is the shape, so that's why it's filled. Previously I was using path, it's just the line. Outline, it will convert into a selection. It will create a raster image again. So I need to have a vector, so I'm using shape here. Okay. Modify, change, let's make it a little cleaner. So I created a shape. It can be anything. It can be a logo, design, text, or anything. So if you zoom in, if you go really close, you can see its edges are blurred slightly because Photoshop stores everything into pixels. So this is all pixels. Like the maximum limit of this pixel is this. So, but like now, if you want to convert, this is, you can see image size 1K by 1K. And you will hear this term 1K, 1K pixel, 1K pixel, this thing a lot of times. So this is 1K. So if I convert this into 2K, it will still be in the same resolution, same thing. So let's convert this thing. Let's see. I'll duplicate this. Duplicate. This is still I have this shape, and I'll change the size of this thing 2048, exactly double. Control Alt I, or you can go to image size. I use a shortcut. So because shortcut saves a lot of time. So now this is 2K, right? I can show it again. You can see 2048, 2048, right? And still, if you zoom in, you can see still the same. Because it's a line, basically it's a line. So whenever you increase or decrease, it's basically recalculating everything. So it won't lose any detail. So irrespective of the shape, size, it will never go blur. It will store all the information. You can add a gradient here, you can add stroke, you can add a lot of things. Everything in vector will stay like that always. So let's see. Now suppose this is my 1K image. If I convert this into rasterize, let's see, merge them. Now it's a raster image, right? Same size, and I'll increase the size to 2K. Now, if you see corners, this thing you can see, right, clearly. Now I'll drag drop this into here. This thing you can see clearly. Blurriness, because this one is raster, this one is vector. So the moment you convert into raster, it will store all the information in pixels. So if you increase, it will go blur. If you decrease, it will become sharp. Irrespective of any shape, any size, any scale, vector is like something you're going to reuse multiple times. Suppose you have a pattern or maybe a checkers or some design or maybe a logo or text. Use vector. That will use it again, multiple times, same thing. So this is what we do, vector. So for vector, we have a lot of tools that we use. Vector portraits, yeah, that is also we can do it. So yeah, initially we'll start with something simple so that there's a lot of tools we need to learn, understand, and how to use it. The first thing I'll show you, for vector, most of the time, you can see right side, most of the tools are raster tools. We have few vector tools. Pen tool is vector. Under pen tool, you have option path and shape. So path is basically to create a very nice, clean, precise shape, and then you can export that shape as a AI, Adobe Illustrator format file. That also we can do from here. So in vector, like how we use it. Let's see, create a dot, click, create a dot. So in my screen, you can see there is a like line wherever my pen is. This is something you need to switch on from here, rubber band. By default, it's switched off. So if you switch it on, you can see like wherever you want to draw or click or generate anything. And suppose you want to create a straight line, hold shift, it will create a straight line horizontally or vertically, or maybe 45 degree. It will snap 45 degree or 90 degree, 90 degree, always. And this works for any brush, works for any shape, anything, works for everything. So now suppose I want to create a straight line, and then I want to exit this pen tool without closing it. Control, or maybe I want to, let's see, triangle. I just created a triangle. Now it's like you can see all the edges are really sharp, and I want to modify something here, or maybe suppose I want to make this thing curved. Center, I can go and click a dot. This is adding an anchor point. So whenever you add an anchor point, you can see you have two nodes that you can manipulate. So if you directly click here, it will minus. You can see I'm not controlling anything here, just mouse. You can see minus. So if you click again, it will remove that. Click again, add. So you can add multiple times everywhere, or you can remove it. So now you want to modify this. So how do you modify? So you can see if I click, it will add another anchor point here, but I want to modify this thing. Press Control. So you can see cursor change, or go to path selection. You can see this thing option. Shortcut is A, or you can press, you can have pen tool, Control. Selection tool like this one you're seeing, this one. It's move tool. So with move, like suppose I select a move tool, it will move this layer. It won't move those anchor point. So to move anchor point, you need to select that particular anchor point and then move it. So that is something for this move tool will affect the layer, irrespective of the shape, size, scale. So this is like move it like this. But if I want to change anything here, I have to go to pen tool again, P. The moment I switched back to pen tool, you can see all the anchor points are highlighted. Now, if I want to modify this, you can see right now all the anchor points are highlighted. Everything is selected. If it's not selected, it will be in white. Click outside, click again. Now you can see white box. That means it's not selected. If control and click on any of the anchor point, it will show those two nodes that you can manipulate. So this one is selected, these two are not selected. So if I want to modify this, holding control, just move it. If I hold shift, it will stay in a, like vertically aligned perfectly. So automatically it will create this circular shape, and all these nodes I can change, all these points, still holding control. I can change the shape without losing any detail. Right? Clear, right? So, but what if I want this curved shape, but I don't want this side to be affected? So how to control this? This time hold Alt. You see cursor change again. Click. It will convert that corner into a point. So, and if you want to only remove this side, control this. Why it's not moving? So you can see I'm holding Alt and just removing this one. But previously with control, it was moving both the sides. Control, move both the sides. Alt, move only one side. So I can keep this thing perfectly straight. Align here, and this one I can control and make it curve. You can control this thing very nicely. So let's see. Again, I create a box. add this thing, control, I can move it, add one more, I can move it. There you can see automatically they are separate layers. They're not together. So whenever you using shape, it will, whenever you're creating a new shape, it will create automatically a new layer. So, but suppose I want to create something within this layer. In that case, if you see shape tool, we have something new layer, combine shape, subtract, intersect, extrude, all these options are there. So if I switch this to combine, so it will create the same like shape within this layer. Same layer, so I can modify this thing very easily. So I can, these two are two different shapes. And there's a extra angle point, something mentions. So I can modify this thing according to my requirement and change. So within one layer. And if you're using like CS6 or something, so in that case, if you select both two shapes and merge it, Control E, it will convert it to a raster image. If you're using CS latest version after 2019 and all, it will still keep it as a vector image. So I'll generate this. So if you see, you can see that small box. If any layer have this, that means a vector layer. And plus control, click on this with pen tool. If you see all these nodes against the vector. If you have an image, it's like flat, only pixels. You cannot select it and change, modify anything. Okay, this is how I can create. This is like half hard something. So suppose I now this I created this thing, but I want to intersect something. Like in case, like suppose, let's see. Let's see, and this pen tool I can create shapes manually, whatever shape I want, or I can use all these preset native your primitive shapes, rectangle, ellipse, triangle, polygon, line, custom, all these shapes you can use. These are again vector. Suppose I have a ellipse. So this is basically a circle. Hold shift, it can create perfect circle. Done. You can see it's a vector image. And if I want to modify something, I can modify all this thing, transform width and height, radius, all this thing I can modify, or I can just simply like scale it. That is also I can do. Okay, now like suppose I have a circle, but inside there's one more circle. So what I can do, I can duplicate this, Control J and fill white and Control T. If you hold Alt, it will reduce everything proportionately and from all the sides. Like wherever is pivot point, from there. Center, it will move. So if suppose I want to create this shape, so I can have two layers, one is black, one is white, and it gives me this ring effect, right? But what if I want to create in one layer? In that case, I'll delete this. I'll select this layer only, go back to my ellipse, and I'll change it to subtract. Shift. And if you with shift, it will create a circle, but position is not correct, right? You want to move it, space bar. And now you can move it wherever you want to move. So I can place it, and you can see by default Photoshop gives you this angle, this points, center point, align, nicely align, like this thing. So you can just click and place it wherever you want to place. So basically subtracting that part from this. It works for any vector shape. Like suppose I can use a pen tool here as well. Subtract is on. In one layer, I can create everything. There are 1, 2, 3 shapes. This is clear, right? This is how you can like suppose you have a logo or something. This is how we generate it. We create everything in one layer, and suppose you have some patterns or some design. Prefer like try to create in vector. so that you can reuse it multiple times always easily. Hmm. Hmm. Possible. I don't know like the criteria because printing like if you create a poster for printing works differently and digital platform works differently. For printing you need to have minimum of 300 dpi basically, because in printing you need dots per inch. For digital you need ppi, pixel per inch. So we use 72 pixel. So there's a huge difference. For if you are creating something with 72 pixel and trying to print it out, it will go blur. So for printing, we need to increase the resolution, and with that resolution to create everything. Yes, it was a sort of like a cover for a book. Hmm. But when I looked at the thing that we selected, it was just a bunch of images like cropped together. It wasn't really that it cropped. Like there was a joy motorcycle. Okay. And the motorcycle that the reference that it gave, the rear view mirror, even the rear view mirror, we just use the last two and cut it and paste it. And like see, client is like if client approves that, it's correct only. Well, end of the day, if client say I want this, you have to do that only. You cannot modify things according to your understanding or your convenience. So if clients approves that, it's good. Right, this is how it works. So for printing, we work first of all colors. We use CMYK. We don't use RGB. Plus we use a resolution, more resolution, 300 minimum 300, if not more. And again, for billboards and all, it works again differently because that kind of resolution getting is very difficult. You need a like maybe 100 megapixel camera or something for that. So what we do is we use a like maybe 12, 50, 50, 60 megapixel camera, and we blow up the image. Basically, we reduce the pixels. If you reduce a pixel, what happens? Like suppose you have a pixel, you know, like how reduce and increase works. Like suppose you have an image and you have 1 pixel. This is 1 pixel. And you have like suppose you want to increase this, so it will multiply by 4. So it will whatever around it, this will average the color. So that's why whenever you increase the size, goes there. So similarly, if you reduce it, it will become all average color become 1 pixel. That's why for bigger billboards and all, we blow up the image, make it little blurry because there's a distance, because we have to see it from a distance. So everything should be like from a distance should be clear. We increase the resolution like this and then print it. It works differently, like depending upon like because printing works differently. You're designing like suppose you have ad agency all. They work for like printing, designing, billboards and everything. So everything they are creating for printing purpose. So color code and everything is different. Your coloring, your process, because if I print my RGB color, it will, and after printing, it will look entirely different. So that's why like colors are different, pixels are different. So process is different. The pipeline is different. So that's why like they have a specific softwares, right? So this is what we do. And big pixel, it cannot have big pixel. Yes, like more number of pixels you have, it's a better quality you have basically. So any image you have, like it depends again the size. Like this is 1K. So if I convert this into a centimeter something, you can see it's 36 by 36 centimeter. That's so like it's change. I can change it, but if I change this resolution, see, let's see. This is vector, so if this won't go blur anyways. If I convert this into raster, and let's see, increase this to 300 dpi. You can see pixel of changed automatically. Okay, so you can see it will go. It was a vector, but edges you can see blur. This will happen. So that's why like this works differently. So we have to like whatever you're creating for printing or digital platform, that is something you have to understand. Like for digital, PPI, pixel per inch, which is 72 pixel per inch, or for printing, DPI, dots per inch. use that. Okay. So we have all these brushes and all these shapes. So let's undo, undo, undo. Perfect. Now, and suppose I created this shape and I want to change it. Like maybe this thing is right now in subtract, right? If I want to change it to addition, make sure selected, combine. So it will convert that, like that the property of this thing, the subtract will change to plus. You can change it, or you can convert it to intersection or extrude, right? You can modify everything and create all this thing very easily. So for vector art, I'll show you a couple of references. So vector can be a lot of things. Anything you created with a pen tool or shapes is basically vector. So it can, you can see like portrait, like as you asked, you can definitely do a portrait, right? Portrait or something cartoonish. Everything is vector. It's, all these things are vector. This is also vector. And this will take like really long to create this. So, but we can be done. We can do, definitely do it. So all these things can be done. All these things are vector. And you can see actual portrait, convert. And this is something we can do in Photoshop like in one click also. There's some, there's a, no, there's a filter called cutout. Filter called cutout. That's like, suppose you want to create something vector like this, like a portrait. So you need to use two different softwares. One is Photoshop. Apply, like, let's see, I'll show you. This is very small, right? Not very clean. Okay. Copy. Paste it. Crop. So suppose I want to convert this into vector. This is my image. Filter. And you have filter gallery, right? Go there. Before like applying filter gallery, go to filter gallery, modify image according to your colors and everything. This is like something already added, so I don't want to use this. There's something called cutout. So if you click on this, and these are image resolution, you can control all these things, increase, decrease. This will give you all this like average color, 2, 3 tones, 4 tones, how many tones levels you want. Based on that, you can convert. But this is still raster. This is not vector yet. But if you want to convert this into vector, there's something called Coral Tracer or something. I forgot the name exactly. Tracer, I believe, or Illustrator also have this option. You can download, open this image and convert it into vector. In one click, it will because these are all solid colors. There's no gradient. So based on the color, it will create all these layers separate. It will separate all the layers. With just one click, we're done. So you can convert this, but like the automatic things like have this tendency to lose a lot of detail. So like if you want to create something like this detailed, like nicely this, or maybe something like this detail, this is you have to do manually. Yes, you can use techniques to like create a few areas, but you have to refine it manually. So, what if we convert it into like and then modify it? Yeah. That's what, you have to you have to refine it manually. So you can use all those automatic things and then refine it. Okay. So let's see. Let's for vector art. Something very simple to start initially. Let's see if I have access to my stock data. Oh, yes. Okay, I don't have digital folder here. Okay, it's not there. Okay, I'll copy it then. Anyways, so let's create something bit simple, not very complicated. let's initially start. This looks nice actually. This is nice. But this is, let's see, I'll do it later. Like initially, let's start with something it's simple, very basic. So like you can understand the process, all the tools, then you can create something a bit complicated. Okay. Oh, this looks nice. Okay, let's create this. So copy this image. Paste it. And it's, because it's pretty small. So I can just simply increase the resolution. So everything is blurred, doesn't matter. I can go trace it out. So pen tool, P shortcut for pen tool. So now you can see it's basically a circle. So either I can just simply manually trace it out, or I can use a circle. Using a circle will be a good idea, because if you do it manually, no matter what you do, edges or maybe all those anchor point might be slightly like not in correct position. It will distort the shape. So best part, I can see clearly it's circle. So I'll use a circle. Shift, create a circle, edge to edge will snap. See, snapped, right? Perfect circle. Filled black. Now this one is filled black, but I don't want this to be like 100% black. I want to see through the image. So there is two options, opacity and fill. I'll reduce, fill. The shape is still there, only nothing is filled there. It's empty. So I can just simply, you can see this line is again almost even, only edges are slightly broad, right? This is slightly broad. So instead of recreating one more circle, what I can do, Control A, Control C. It will copy this layer, or you can just simply duplicate also. Copy it, Control V, sorry, Control C, Control V. You see one more this thing generated, or you can press Control J, duplicate any layer. It's duplicated, and now I want to remove this thing. So let's see. I can fill it slightly so that I can see, and this one's supposed to be white. Right, you can see black. I want this border plus this thing. So let's see. So I need to copy this in the same layer, like what we did for minus subtract. So if I copy it like this, it will create a different, this is not working, different layer. So what I'll do is, I'll go to this option, selection, path selection tool, black one. There's a white, there is a black, two. With this black one, if you in one click, you can select the entire path. And with white, you can select each and every node. All the anchor points, you can select one by one. With black one, just simply drag, everything is selected. Control C this time, go back to this layer, Control V. It's there, but not visible, because both are same size, right? You can see two lines now, and just make sure subtract it. You can see everything is gone. I can fill this thing, and you can see the border. Now this circle is selected. Let's see, and with arrow I can move, or manually also if I want I can move it. So size of this, hold Alt. Okay, everything is selected. So I have to make sure only this inner circle is selected. Reduce it. So I guess I moved it accidentally or something. Ah, this thing. So just moved it, but this area I don't want, right? Delete this. You can see all these points if I want to create. So there's again two ways. I can use a pen tool and just simply remove it, like negative, subtract it, or I can simply close, like cut it from here and end those points directly there. So for doing this, one point, so you can see new layers. I need to make sure combine layer, one point and another point, and control click outside, deselect. You can see that cut is there. I'm not sure it's cutting this point. Delete. Control select, and now I can add a point here. This is like I can do it like this, or undo. I can take a new layer, subtract, simply subtract, click and drag to create a curved shape. So I can control this thing very easily, or maybe here or here, wherever you want. And this outside shape doesn't matter, so it's not visible. But close it. So you can see that shape. Okay. Now rest of the shape, this inside thing, I can just press it out very easily. I can have like same layer or separate layer, totally up to me. This is again a circle. If I want, I can use a circle, or I can use like this. If I use this technique, the only benefit is I can create all the shapes at once. Alt, remove this anchor point, fill reduce, so that I can see this thing wasn't visible. And this, you can see it's bending here, alt, remove it. Click here. So there's again two ways. One is click and drag, create, convert into this thing, and then remove this one anchor point from here. Or click 2 points, middle, click, add another anchor point, control, and move it. Both will give you same result. Only thing is in this technique, you have less anchor point. In this technique, you have more anchor points. There's a limitation for like how many anchor points you can use. You can use like any of the technique. Match it perfectly. Alt, remove the anchor point. This thing I need to fill. And this area is already black, so it doesn't matter. I can simply click and create the shape. Slightly outside, control and move that anchor point. Alt, remove it. You can see it's going inside. Create something here. All these things, I can create all the black part at once. And snap it, make it nice, clean. You can move it like this. From where this point is coming. Like, do not use unnecessary anchor points here and there. Keep everything clean as much as possible. Shape to match. And finish it. So now if I switch it off, you'll see only in between those white lines are missing. Few white things, areas, negative, positive areas, you can see. So I just simply reduce the fill again, and this time subtract and use. Different layer also, you can just simply fill white. Like either you can have like one layer, cut out everything, keep one selection, or you can have a separate layer with white, fill white. Yes, number of layers will increase the file size. Like suppose you want to modify something or change something, or you like, because in this process everything is together, so you have to modify the main file. If you have everything separate, that's easy. You just have to go to that particular layer and modify it. So both are fine. So practice both the things. This is like filling those areas, see, with like minusing all black area basically. In this case, you can see this is still round shape. This is like I filled everything. Now if I change it and make sure deselect new layer and white is here. You can say fill white. Oh, sorry, my bad. Another class about to start. So new layer. Now what this, suppose I want to fill white. Double click here or fill from here, both you can do. Make it white, reduce fill and check the shape. This white, again a new layer. No, that is for painting and all brushes. It works with brush. This is like vector shape, so there's no sample all layers. All the layers. Not do it. That is not possible. And I don't think that option is there in Illustrator as well. It's not there. I filled white. Let's see. So fill. Here is my file. You can see, and I guess I missed something here. Let's see. Yeah, I missed something there. Pen tool, remove it. So if I do this, I want this one. I can delete. That's what I missed one point, so I have to fix it. Just make sure like all those mistakes or anything, just recreate. See, it's pretty easy and everything. This slightly you can see mismatch with the shape. Let's see this one. So I can go back here or add a point here and move it and make sure it matches perfectly with this. And now if I delete the background and image also, all these are vector. So what I can do is, you can see everything is crisp here for this. If I create a new file, Control N, let's see, I'll convert it to 4K, 4096 by 4096, like 16 times of this file. And if I drag drop, let's create a folder, Control G, and paste it here. So you can see the size, it's pretty small. And if I zoom in, you can see edges, you can see all those pixels. So let's see if I increase the size of this. Control T. And zoom in, you can see clarity still the same. So this is the like best part of vector. So if you use any size, anything, if you create anything vector, you can reuse it multiple times. There is no limit. There's increase, decrease, and we can add colors as well. This is like just black and white test, we just test out. So we can use color, we can use gradient, we can use a lot of things. Effects, there's lots of effects are there. We can use everything and create something really nice. And yeah, I can do this also, and I'll save my file. So for this, you can choose anything, whatever you want, create anything, something bit simple initially. Practice this, understand all those tools, then we'll create something complicated. Like how to combine things, add detail, or maybe something. This is like, it will take way too much time, so we won't do it. Huh? You can convert anything into vector. Depends, like it's like amount of time you are willing to spend. It's all about that. Like all these things can be done. Only thing is like if you take something very complex, it will take a really long, like you have to sit entire day, maybe 2 days, 3 days, and finish it off. It will take a lot of time. Yeah, like creating something like this is pretty easy. Everything in layers, separate colors, separate layers, and generate something. That will do. Okay. Redness, redness quickly. Okay. Alan is present. Okay, Alisa, not here, right? Anag, Athar, you are Anag. Okay. Take some time to remember. So please bear with me. Athar, it's Athar. Okay. Atharva, not here. Avi Vikram, not here. Okay. Ayush, okay. Ayush, okay. Daniel, present. Okay. Debargya, not here. Debargya, okay. This is Deepa, okay. Devdutt, not here. Okay. Dhruva, Divya, present. Okay. Gaurav, not here. Then Hindol, not here. Okay. Hriday, not here. Kumar, present. Oh, sorry. Right? Okay. Hriday, not here. Kumar, present, right? Madhu, present. Okay. Manikonda, present. Manish, Manish, okay. Present. Mayank, present. Online. Mackenzie, not here. Pratham, not here. Wow. Raja Murugan. Raja, okay, Raja is present. Yes. Ritam. Oh, Ritam. Then we have Sagar, not here. Simantika, present. Okay. Then we have Sipranjali. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Tanmay, not here. Vyom and Tejaswaroop, not here. Vyom also not here, and Vincent also not here. Wow. There's so many absent. We have Yuvraj is present. And Tikuru, yes. You. Oh, okay. All of you present. Yes. Everybody present. Okay, done. And okay. Bye bye. 11 o'clock. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Practice and Wednesday submission. So I'll create in Moodle. There is a link. You know how to access Moodle, right? So there is a submission folder I haven't created. I'll create a submission folder today. Now only. I'll do it. Huh. Hmm?